Stream health good. Okay. Hey everybody. Welcome back. Why is it black? Why is it black? Oh, it's not black. Oh, they can see us. We're live. We're back. Hey everybody, welcome back to Casual Conversations with the Homies, GRT Sports Network. And our last title of our show was Sports NFL Mock Draft. And that was our last show, but as tradition, we had a lot of things going on this year, but we came back for our annual draft show. So shout out to the fellas. Guru Tito, say what's up.
What up,
How
man?
y'all doing?
Yeah, so
Good to be back.
it's good to be back, man. I ain't spoken with y'all for a while. It's been a long year, but you know, when you're comfortable with people, you can always pick up like it was yesterday. So that's always cool.
Yes.
Yep. So let's we're just gonna come up with a few topics today. We're gonna just come spit fire. I think we'll get more now that COVID is over. We'll probably get together in person and do a show in person. That'd be way better. But today we're gonna go over the NFL draft a little bit, talk some NBA, and then also talk some college football for Guru because I don't know if he's for the antics or he's against them. I don't know. I go both ways with it. Pause.
Whoa.
I guess we should start off with that
Well,
then. Yeah,
Back.
let's start off with college. We'll just keep it short. And so yeah,
okay.
the spring ball for Colorado, it was packed. Basically, it was packed. A lot of people was there, a lot of media coverage. I just logged into our YouTube channel. That was the first thing there, the Colorado spring ball highlights. So he's generating buzz for sure. And then some stuff dropped today about some transfer portals. But go ahead, Guru, talk to us more about this.
Yes. So since Prime got there, 41 entered the transfer portal and left. Okay. Some of them being some key players, a couple of players that he brought from Jackson State himself who have entered the portal. So that's a little bit concerning because you never know. Like, first of all, the portal's wide open and players are free to move like free agents. But it's hard to plug in players when you've already been doing a lot of practice, right? You have to have continuity. So I'm not for Deion Sanders. I'm not. I just think that he's doing a lot of things that I do not like. The way he's putting a lot of the limelight on himself, on his son, on Travis Hunter, which I'm a fan of Travis Hunter. I just think that he's in a wrong situation. I don't believe you can play a player two ways in the Pac-12 when you're talking. He's just one five-star talent, and basically, we didn't really see much his first year in Jackson State. And once you enter college and once you have that five-star title and you play a year, that five-star gets ripped off your back. You're just a player after that because now you have to live up to that five-star. And I feel like he just kind of doesn't have his bearings, doesn't know exactly what he's doing. As far as the spring game is concerned, I thought the crowd was amazing. But that's the prime effect, right? You get everyone packed in there for a university who's just desperate to win. So you throw a Hail Mary and you bring in someone like Prime, the prime effect as they're calling it, and you're just hoping for a miracle for a team that went 1-11 and really could have went 0-12, but they lost to Cal Berkeley in, I believe, an overtime game. They would have went 0-12. But here's the problem. The problem is you're preaching Christianity, but you're bringing people like Rick Ross and Lil Wayne, and you show them around like they're dignitaries. I don't have a problem with that. But I believe that's more for the players and, thinking that they're going to be in awe of it. Look, Lil Wayne and Rick Ross, they're not going to be hanging out at Colorado. You guys are playing football. And as far as the spring game is concerned, wouldn't even call it a spring game. I'd really call it a 7-on-7. I mean, Travis Hunter scores a wide open touchdown. I guess the cornerback was in the locker room still. Someone didn't tell him that he needed to be on the field covering him. Shador is just eyeing him down the pipe. I didn't really get anything from it.
I ain't down
And
the
then he
pipe,
wants to
huh? That's crazy.
eyed him right down. And it's like I could have thrown that to threw that pass to your son, Ray Mir. You know, and it would have been just fine. So I don't see where. I think it was more of an entertainment. And then Prime comes out and says, "Well, we changed it up a little bit because of the weather, and we wanted to make for the players. You're playing in Colorado. You're playing Mile High. Those field conditions are not going to change. If anything, they're going to get worse by November. So I just felt like that's a weak excuse. And I don't like the cowboy hat and sunshades in the press conferences. I don't like the fact that the Colorado media is afraid to ask him any real questions about what he's doing. He's keeping everything under hat. So look, I'm not going to root for anyone's failure. Uh, it'll be on him because $5.5 million, and you said we coming. Well, team the fans and the media are going to expect you to win now. So I don't blame the crowd for being hyped. I mean, they're looking for a winner in Colorado. They haven't had it for over 20 years, and we'll see what happens. But I'm not a fan of all this, like shooing young men out into the portal. A lot of them are not going to probably get picked up, and we're talking about their education as well. But he's, preaching, prosperity football, meaning, hey, NFL, NIL. I don't get it, but that's my rant on that Colorado football. What do you guys think?
Yeah, go ahead, Tito. What do you think?
For sure, man. I'll agree with you, Guru, in the fact that it does, you know, it does suck for some of these, for some of the athletes that were already there. I mean, when he got announced for that school, it started off with I'm bringing everybody that I want to bring. You better get in or get out, and mainly I want everybody out. Was pretty much the message. I wasn't a fan of that. It's just I feel like benefit of the doubt, right? Like, all right, bring whoever you want to bring, but at the same time, let the people that are there compete or see if they can go into that system or do whatever, right? Like, to me, right off the bat, he had that mentality of I'm gonna bring whoever I want and that's it. Like, now's the time to jump ship. And some people did, some people didn't. At the same time, though, man, I will say, what was Colorado's record last year?
One in
One and
11.
11.
It's like 1-11, man. Like, expectations shouldn't be that high. Like, they're not gonna turn into a national championship contending team right off the bat. I mean, even with the Dion effect. I mean, we saw it with Jackson State. It took him a little bit. I mean, it took him a bit to get his footing in there. And yes, because of the prime effect, we know Jackson State. They definitely played some high profile games at the same time. But this is one of those where he got his bag, which rightfully so. Do it. You want to be a coach, get paid. You know, where it was a big jump, right? Like, I think at Jackson State he was making less than $1 million a year or something like that.
300,000.
Yeah, so it's just like, definitely get that bag, right? But I don't think the expectations are that high for him to start. I do think it's a little bit of a what I call the cowboy effect of good, like, bad media is good media, right? Like, there is no bad press, so to speak. So this is just one of those, like, I got my name. I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to write it. I'm going to try and make the better of the situation and see what sticks, what doesn't. At the same time, man, I mean, I think the Pac-12 have bigger issues than primetime being in their division. Like, you have schools wanting to leave. You have the top schools already leaving. So it is one of those things where, as long as he can keep his name relevant, I think that's all he's looking for. I don't expect him to be a contender. Um, but yeah, man, that's kind of where I see it, man. Where it's just, I'll give him some time, but there's no real high expectations, at least on my part.
Okay, we got some comments from Louis. Jose, welcome back. Um, Louis said, putting the light on himself. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you're good.
Oh, no, I just stopped talking. I'm tripping. My bad. He said, putting the light on himself is the only way to get players to Colorado. And he says anyone who expects him to win now is delusional. In 5 years, they'll be lucky to have a winning record. Yeah, I agree with those things. Like I get why he's doing what he's doing to get people there, and that's even though guys are transferring out the portal, he's getting like a good recruiting class in. So it's like give or take. And one thing I do agree with you, Guru. I don't like his style of like about Prime, but that's who he is, and he's always been about Prime. And it's like you know at every level he's been at, from baseball, football, NFL, commentating, being an analyst, going to Jackson State. It just serves him well. Like I just like how he like changing the future of young men just because he's coming in. But that's how life is. A lot like his son gets to be the quarterback. How many people are in jobs right now because they know somebody who worked there that got them hired? So some part of that is life, and the kids that's real resilient, they're the ones that transfer. Somebody who's at the bottom, if they really, I'm sorry to sound like a movie, but if they scrap hard enough and really put themselves in the right position, they can do it. So I do. I don't. I'll be interested to see what he does. He's gonna get creamed, pause, in the pack, in the whatever they call this conference now, the pack, whatever.
Pac-12.
Yeah, it's done.
I mean, what USC and UCLA are still there, right? I don't think they're leaving till
25.
24.
I thought. Anyway, they leaving.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I don't know who allowed that. That was stupid. But all right. Y'all want to talk NBA for a little bit before we get into the draft?
Sure.
we can.
Yeah. Y'all seen what Stephen A. said about Kawhi Leonard? Is it false? Or, do y'all agree with him or y'all disagree? Basically, he said Kawhi Leonard needs to retire because he's the worst kind of superstar. And I was just talking about this a week ago with my kids about this, and I said Kawhi Leonard, he load managed and he plays, and it's the fact that he plays and he gets hurt. He's hurt, and then they release it later. Like he plays a full game, and then they're like, "All right, he's not
Yeah,
gonna play." And then, off the court type of things is like he don't have to be a role model or a spokesman, but he's not. I don't know. He just has that personality, that mundane personality that he's not like the person that you want to go. You're not gonna sell tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like even in his New Balance commercial with his shoe, he's not even smiling.
yeah,
So that sucks for the Clippers, but Clippers gonna clip, man. Paul, shout out to Russell Westbrook though. I always felt like one thing about him, even throughout all the years when he was with the Rockets, sometimes you gotta have guys who just want to play. He doesn't play the best, but then sometimes he rises to the occasion, and I think he kind of showed some class in this series against Phoenix. And yeah,
yeah.
boom. What else? What else? The Warriors are probably gonna win. LeBron's gonna win, I think, even though. I hate the Grizzlies are just young and mature guys. But go ahead. Y'all want to talk about basketball for a
Yeah,
second?
yeah. I mean, to touch on Kawhi real quick, man. Like, I'm a Kawhi fan. Like, I love the way he plays the game, right? Like, just the game of basketball when he plays. It is his Clipper tenure. It's funny. I didn't hear what Stephen A. said, and I was talking to a coworker this morning of just like, should he think about retirement? Like, he's just always hurt. And I mean, if anything, there's one team that I think would be perfect for him in his current state. And surprisingly, he didn't choose it, which is the Lakers. Like, you can take the season off and just show up when you're healthy. I mean, it's kind of what AD has been doing, right?
Yeah.
But it's I don't know if they can survive with both with an AD and a Kawhi, but it's just doing the same thing. But I mean, it's unfortunate. I think you're right. I don't see him as like Mr. Marketable. But the way he plays the game, I mean, when he's healthy, he's came out and showed he can win a series by himself. Like
Yeah, he beat the Warriors.
like he's that type of unicorn within the game of basketball. But yeah, man, like this Clipper experiment, I mean, we laugh about it, we joke around that Clippers are going to clip, but it's true. Like they kind of did it to themselves, man. Like even with like the roster, the trade deadline, everything that they did, they essentially had like a similar team to like the Thunder, where the Thunder have all these like every person's the same, like 1 through 5, it's the same guy plays the same position. I think the Clippers wanted to do that too, and it's like it just didn't pan out for them. I mean, they had a puncher's chance because everybody always does within a 7 game series. But yeah, man. I mean, I do think Kawhi should really, really think about, you know, if he can do it. But at the same time, I mean, guy's still getting paid to do what he does every single year, right? Um, on the Westbrook front, yeah, man. I mean, it sucks that it didn't work out with the Lakers. I mean, I know that he's an LA boy. So it's like he was looking forward to being on that squad and doing the things that he did. But against Phoenix, I mean, everything that was dumped on Westbrook, you know, Westbrook, anything like that, that guy has always shown up. Like there isn't a time when he doesn't. And it's like that's somebody that I would want on my squad, if I had a team or anything like that. Like that's something that you don't build, that's something that you don't teach. Like that's just a guy that's always going to show up. He's going to do his thing. No matter what. Like for me, his downfall is the fact that he's not as adaptable as the game has turned into. And that's one of those things that's hard to see, but that guy can still put up any given night. Is just he's not going to be the guy. And part of me feels like Westbrook also doesn't see that.
Yeah, he takes some ill-advised threes all the time. But go ahead, Guru.
Yeah, like any superstar would be, it's hard for them to tell themselves like I have to change my game or I have to do things this way. But I agree with you, Tito. He comes to play, and maybe he doesn't adjust as well. He's certainly doing better with the Clippers than he did with the Lakers. I just felt like it was just always something in the media about him, and like they was kind of trying to lay it on him when, that was unfair. Speaking of Kawhi Leonard, he's probably one of the quietest superstars that we've seen in our time. Certainly, one that I've seen. Like he doesn't have a social media, doesn't care about. I'm sure he cares about what people say, but he's one of those guys that's just going to remain quiet. You're not going to get much out of him except his play. I don't know the reason why he's been as hurt as much, but at 31 years old and not playing as many games as he's had, I think that he still has a lot left in the tank. And he has a championship under his belt. So he has proven that you can win a title with him away from San Antonio, which he's done. And, excuse me, we'll gladly take him with the Wizards. If, we'll take him off anyone's hand and give away Bradley Beal, but that's another story. But I like what, the Clippers, like, I think, Tito, you hit it on the head. Like, having players that are the same 1 through 5 can be a problem, right? Because it makes you seem like you're just one-dimensional as a unit. So, maybe something can happen there where they can change it up. But I feel like Stephen A. Smith's comments, like he's always looking for a soundbite. He's just like so overboard. He's just so overboard. And I think one of the reasons he's saying that is because he doesn't have access to Kawhi Leonard like he does every other player. It just frustrates him that he can't get in this guy's mind or have a one-on-one sit down like he can the other superstars. I think that plays a large part into it. Silence says a lot, and he chooses to be silent and let his play do the talking. I'm okay with it. Stephen A. I don't put any stock in what he says.
Okay. Yeah. But speaking of LA teams, I hear what you said about Kawhi. Like you said, he's 31 years old, so he might have something in the tank. But if he's hurt like this, maybe he just can't go. Maybe he needs to take a sabbatical for like a year or two and then heal up and then come back. But this quick little high take that I just throw this out there. Kawhi's always hurt. He's not playing. It's Paul George, a lot of stars, Anthony Davis. Is LeBron inching closer to being a GOAT? Better than Jordan or not? Because I'm convinced. I was on the other side of this for a while, but I am convinced that he is number one now.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
he's playing like a 40-year-old dude at a high level, but he looks 40, and he's still like they lost today. I got that, but I'm more confident in him. I don't know. I don't know why. But okay. So let's switch over to the NFL. We could talk more about basketball. It seems like we can find a day to
Yeah,
keep this going. But
I'll give a quick shout out. I'll give a quick little shout out to Marcus on the comments. He's calling Lakers in 6. I agree.
I can't see him. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, you guys are laking it up in the comments. Oh, now let me relax. It's all right.
He's,
You're gonna play the Warriors next. So
I'm pretty sure he's responding to the LeBron thing. I'll stay out of it. You guys know I'm a Jordan loyalist.
Jordan had the scoring title for
Just
like
so
7 years in a row, and those other players played each other. So I'm assuming that nobody was scoring it because everybody's trashing at the time. So the level of competition is different. That's why I give it to LeBron. But
it's, yeah, I'll give it to you. I do think the level of play right now is super super high level, but the game evolved, right? I mean, 80s was a different era, 90s was a different era, early 2000s different era. Like the game just constantly evolves, man. So,
but LeBron, all right, but to
what LeBron's
Jordan's no
doing is
to Jordan's um, I'm being critical right now. People act like Jordan started playing in the NBA in '92. He started in the '80s, the mid '80s, and the good teams that were the good teams, he didn't beat the good teams. He did not beat the good teams. LeBron started as a young guy and got the Cavaliers to the championship, and beating good teams with having a
he was
horror with having a
he was
horrible.
rookie of the year. He was rookie of the year, all defensive team, averaging 37 a game. Like it wasn't Jordan, I'll tell you that.
So let me say this. I gotta add this in real quick. Like I come up at a time when college basketball was bigger than pro basketball, and I was a sixth grader when Jordan was a freshman at North Carolina. I was a big time Georgetown Hoya fan and still
Yeah.
do follow him. Patrick Ewing was a rookie that year as well. I remember seeing Len Bias and all of them play. And I can tell you right now, I feel like a lot of people that LeBron is way better like than Michael Jordan. Okay, he's still playing at a high level. He may can't dominate a game, but heck, he'll give you 20, 25, on the side, even at 37 years old. I think that's phenomenal. He can still get to the basket. Yeah, he can't do the things he used to do, but he's been in the league 20 years. So I do say that he's right there with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who probably could have turned pro out of high school if you look at it the way it is today. Those two have made a significant impact, if not for their basketball, but for the things that they are off the court. So, yeah, Jordan is number one in selling sneakers and all of that. And I get that part of pop culture, but in my opinion, LeBron, has passed him up. He could have dominated in the '80s, the '60s, and any era.
Yeah, and no disrespect to Jordan. I just think that LeBron is hecka old playing at a high level, and I find it crazy, and I think it's funny, and it's like, man, what the like he about to beat the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies like a young immature team that I hate anyway. But all right, let's talk about the things that I don't know nothing about, and that is the NFL draft. But before we talk about the NFL, whoa. We got a high comment from Louis. I just seen it pop in here. He said LeBron is 4 of 10 and the champions 40% if he it's failing. That's what he's trying to say. And I get what you're saying, but the Warriors, we had the greatest team of all time, I think, for sure. You can't say, losing to losing to the Warriors the first time, yeah, I get that. That's an L. But losing to like the Warriors with KD, the Spurs with Timmy Duncan and all that, like these are like good teams. Like, I don't know. I feel like only good team Jordan playing in the finals was the Jazz. But anyway, we can come back to this another time. Let's talk about the NFL. I want to talk about we, we might not even get to the draft, man. I don't really know what's going on with the draft. I think Bryce Young is going first. I think he's a small guy. I wouldn't draft him, but
Yeah.
that's me. I think Will Levis. I wouldn't draft him because he's too big of a guy. And I think the NFL draft has shown that these guys that come at the spurts out of nowhere, like Zach Wilson. Hey, that's what we're doing this show. Maybe we should do it because if we go back to our prior show, he had some hits and Guru had some predictions that came to fruition actually. To make Baker Mayfield doesn't have a team, so yeah, I guess we should get on it. But I want to get to I just quick. Let's just try to keep this under 4 minutes. I'm gonna time it. I'm gonna go first. Well, I'll let Guru go first. What's up with the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson?
Well, Lamar wants to be paid. He wants to be paid, commensurate with what he feels his worth is. And I mean, I know Deshaun Watson got $230 million, and that was Cleveland's business. However, you have a quarterback who's 25 years old, who quarterbacks can play a long time. He's going to play another 10 years. People don't realize this. I think Baltimore's mistake was not signing him earlier. They could have signed him earlier for less money. I mean, for a lot less money, and he would have been under contract. Let's say for like $150 million. But here's the thing: someone is willing to pay him. Now, he's not going to get 230 guaranteed, but he should get at least 200 guaranteed. That's what I feel. And I feel like the bridge has really been burned for him in Baltimore. But here's the thing: Baltimore can make it right by signing him to a deal that he feels is fair, right? Because they say he's not even asking for, what everyone's reporting that he's asking for. But he's not going to, if they don't get it, they have until June or whatever to get the deal done. So I feel like either they're both going to come to a compromise, because he's not going to play for the $32 million, which is less than what he would get on the open market. He's not going to do that. So either they do that or he's going to be traded. But I think he feels like a little stung. People keep talking about, well, he
30
was
seconds,
hurt.
Guru.
He wasn't.
Okay. Go ahead, 30 seconds. Go ahead.
He wasn't that hurt. I think he just wants his respect.
Tito.
I would like to see him in Baltimore, but I think he isn't going to get the Deshaun Watson money that everybody thinks. I mean, everybody knew that Cleveland was ridiculous for what they did, just even trading for the guy. But I don't think he's going to get that money. I do think that there is a level of burned bridges. I mean, I think what hurts Lamar a little bit and I know that he probably thinks it helps him, but he's his own agent. And it's like that back and forth with that team. I mean, there's no middle person to kind of alleviate that hurtness of lost respect as a player and, upper management of Baltimore. It really just is, because he's his own agent, it's direct, right? Like me, if I'm a quarterback and I feel like I'm not being respected or they don't want to pay me, like I can at least vent to an agent or, a middle person for that matter. But no, like he's going to have a cross from upper management and really just lay it all out. And I do think it's gone on long enough. I think that Baltimore's hope is that it goes even longer so that, he's just gives in, hopefully. But I think the best outcome for all parties involved are going to be that he gets traded. And he gets traded to a team that he wants to go to because he's still Lamar effing Jackson. Like a couple years removed from MVP, he's still going to go out there and win a lot of football games for whatever team he wants to go to. So I would happily take him on my squad. You guys know that. I think all they really need is a Lamar Jackson. But it's one of those things where the best outcome, in my opinion, is for just a clean break.
Yeah,
I think the damage is.
I think it might be resolved though. I think him being his own agent, he's welcoming that. Not to say disrespect or like those things that they say, but you leave yourself open to that ridicule a little bit. And I think, he's not going to get Deshaun Watson money. I don't think nobody is. That's a dumb deal. Nobody, that's a dumb deal on the Browns' part. But at the same time, Deshaun Watson has an agent, and I think guys can represent themselves, but me being like a professional in the area that I get paid for. I believe in professionals, and I think that's why they have that trade. Like, yes, if I work myself out and figure out what I need to do with my muscles, I can get my body in shape. But if Guru is more of a health nut and he knows exactly what I need to do, I can just go to him without having to figure it out. So I do think he's killing himself by not having an agent, and I think he would have been signed earlier. But we'll see what they do. I think he might go. I think he's a good quarterback. I think the NFL doesn't have that many star quarterbacks in this, and he's one of them. So you gotta want to keep him. But speaking of quarterbacks, the NFL draft. Let me pull up the draft order. I don't know who's gonna hit this because I don't know. I mean, I know. I guess I know some players, but not like how I haven't scouted like we did the last couple of years. So I'm gonna let Guru and Tito take it, or maybe just Guru, and I'll just say what I think. As far as like yeah, just what I think as far as like the picks and all that. Because first up, let me see. Let me pull up the draft. Let's see who we have.
Carolina.
Carolina traded all those picks to get a quarterback. I'm assuming, and they're saying it's Bryce Young. I think they should. I think he's Bryce too small, but the NFL is changing. But he's really small. He was measured at being like small, and we all know how I feel about Calamari and in Arizona. But so let's go, Guru. Let me get this. Let me get this typed out right now so I can make sure I got the picks.
Yeah, the quarterback position. Look, Carolina definitely they're going to take a quarterback. My choice would be C.J. Stroud. I like his size. I love the way he played against Georgia. They were just a field goal away from winning that game. And, I felt like that was his true test for me. If I wanted to see, I said, let me see how good he really is. And against that stacked NFL Georgia defense, he showed out. He put up some points. I just feel like you can't really go wrong with either one. Now, with Bryce Young, yeah, the size factor is a little concerning to me. However, I still feel like, he can make all the reads and make all the throws. I wasn't particularly impressed with his arm, but I know he can throw it. I guess I'm always looking for laser throws like mine. But you can't go wrong with either one. But number one, I would definitely take C.J. Stroud. With his size and just I just like him a little better. He doesn't have Alabama's all world talent, and he did have receivers at Ohio State. I just felt like, he did more with less.
Who do you think goes number one though?
Number one, I think I'm gonna say C.J. Stroud. I think he goes number one.
Tito?
All right. I got Bryce Young here. I just think that's who Carolina wants. I mean,
why though? But I don't know. We can get into that.
The pedigree, man. I mean, he's still coming from Alabama. He's still coming from, NFL ready offense. He still put out ridiculous numbers. Yes, he has low size, but I mean, in reality, that kind of doesn't matter if you're the number one quarterback, taken in a draft. Like, you could be small and still do some things, man. Like, I mean, Drew Brees was 6 feet at most, and he still did the things that he had to do. I mean,
yeah.
I agree with you with the Kyler Murray. I mean, yes, he's still, Kyler Murray brings other intangibles to the field and, keeps the play alive and has that. But I mean, the size doesn't seem to bother him. I mean, yes, he does. He is a little injury prone, I would definitely say, because of the size. But I think Bryce Young is the number one consensus. Carolina sucks. They're gonna continue to suck. So they do have, I felt like they gave up way too much. I'm a big receiver fan. You guys know this. I think putting in more in that deal was ridiculous, but it probably what got the deal done. From what I heard, Chicago was really, really high on DJ, and had to be part of the deal. But but yeah, I mean, you take you take Young, and I think they have the luxury of not starting them right away. But other than that, though, I mean, I that's the number one pick that I think you go with, unless they do something crazy and take this Levis guy.
No, we got a shocker in the chat. Louis said they're taking Anthony Richardson from Florida. I don't see that happening, but
Come on out.
hold on, what is that?
I mean,
Guru's camera's tripping. But yeah,
it could go there. I mean, I think I think this NFL draft is going to be a weird one, man. And it's really going to take shape off of those first three picks, because Texans have already came out and said they don't really want a quarterback either. Could be smokescreen, but I
I think
Anthony Richardson balled out in the combine, man. Everybody was in love with him. He was the Malik Willis, right? Like going to the Titans, but everybody seemed to say that Richardson has the highest upside. But
yeah, I don't know. I think Malik Willis, Richardson, Zach Wilson, all these combine pro day workout guys. I don't I put the tape. You got to put the tape on them. And when I watch it, when I watch college football, and I watched more this year than I have in a long time. Every time Ohio State was on the screen, besides like one game, C.J. Stroud looked pretty good, and he has that pedigree of collegiate history of playing pretty good. So I think I would take him number one. He's 6'3" and some change. He has the body for it. Um, he seems like a high character guy. But Bryce Young, they say that's the pick. So I personally think they're gonna go with Bryce Young because it's too much smoke screen on that he's gonna be the pick. And they saying size doesn't matter. But if you look at the NFL Super Bowl the last 10 years, all the top besides Drew Brees, all the tall guys have won it. And Drew Brees, like Guru said, is at 6 feet exactly. And this guy is shorter than Drew Brees.
yep,
Like when they had him walking in the hallway with C.J. Stroud, I'm like, oh, there's no way I'm picking this guy. But you know, they saying it's different now. So number two, the Texans, since they don't, I think they're gonna pick a quarterback. I think they're just trying to see if they can get some. I firmly believe that the Texans are in love with multiple quarterbacks in the draft. You got the guy from Kentucky. Is it Will Levis? Did he go to Kentucky? Yeah,
yeah.
him, Richardson,
Yeah.
Stroud, and then I think also sleeper hit the guy from Tennessee. Um, I forgot his name.
Malik Hooker.
Yeah. I think the Texans just trying to stock a load on picks. I think they have a defensive coach in D'Amico Ryans, which, it's cool to where I think that's why he might want to focus on more in the draft. But I'm gonna go with C.J. Stroud with number two. Tito, who you got?
I agree with you. I think they should take C.J. Stroud, and I think that's the perfect pick for them. My gut is saying they're not going to take him, though. I think if they don't take Stroud, they go on the defensive side and they take Anderson from Bama.
Okay.
Okay. I think they might switch out. They might trade out to 3 and maybe good. Anyway, go ahead, Guru. Who you got it to?
Well, two, I mean, I'll have to take, I of course, move and take Bryce Young. Like, if he's not going to go number one, he's definitely going to go number two. And I have C.J. Stroud at number one.
So number 3 is Cardinals.
Your Cardinals, yep.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna go. I think Will Anderson is dropping to them. So boom.
I agree. They need defense. Like, you can't spend any more on offense. Like, you already paying your quarterback. Let's stock up on the defensive side and try to stop some people.
Yep. If you don't, if it pans out, I say Anderson too. If Texans don't take him too, he definitely goes 3. He doesn't go past 3. Another name that's interesting here that will come up for my number 5 or 6 pick, Carter.
Jalen Carter.
So Jalen Carter from Georgia. Watch out for him. He's another name that I think can go above Anderson. But It's the D line, man. I mean, so many teams have had success with D line. I mean, the Niners started that trend, right? You stack the box, it doesn't matter.
All right, number 4, Indianapolis Colts. If they're going to make a trade for Lamar Jackson, this is their time, but they're going to take a quarterback, I think. I
They
don't know.
have to.
I don't know who they're going to take. They have all the quarterbacks to choose from. I think they're going to go with Richardson, but I think Will Levis has been shooting at the draft board. Folks in Indianapolis might like him better, so I'm going to go with Will Levis because he's wide.
There, I'll agree with you, Raymir, in that I think this is where Richardson should go. But I think you're right. I think Levis goes here. If it's not the Colts picking here, it'd be the Patriots, and they would take Levis too. So I think that's the number 4 pick.
Number 4, Guru, who you got?
I'm going to go with Anthony Richardson. I got Anthony Richardson. I just feel like Will Levis, from what I've seen, and I've watched a lot of tape on him, he's slow of foot. Doesn't look like he's going to really get out of the pocket that well in the NFL. Wasn't really particularly, big time against FCC football. We do know he can spin it, okay, but all these quarterbacks at the top of the board can spin it. So I say Anthony Richardson.
Okay, cool. I can see that happening. I think he's just going to go somewhere else, but it's coming up. Number 5, who is it? Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah, so Jalen Carter, this is where he goes. I don't think he slides.
Yep. I have Carter here.
Same here.
All right, number 6, Detroit Lions.
Detroit. Hey, man, watch out for Detroit, man. I'm still not a believer in Goff, but that Detroit team is fun as hell, man. Fun as hell.
How are you doubting Goff at this point? I famously on our first show said that Goff is way better than Wentz, and Wentz will be out the league, and he's a horrible act. And Goff, never mind. They were like 2 shakes. They were 2 shakes away.
I think Detroit needs a better quarterback to be a real player. But man, that coach, man, Dan Campbell, I'm sorry, dude. I'll suit up for him, dude. Like that guy. We talk about heart when I was talking about Westbrook and just like shows up. That's the guy that you want to work for, man. Like Dan Campbell is just keeps it real. That team is fun, man. That team is fun.
Yeah, so who you got going to the Lions?
Yeah, I have Witherspoon, cornerback here.
Guru?
I agree. Like, Goff, you know what? I was his biggest detractor. I said he sucked for years. And this was his second season in Detroit. He was kind of putting it together. You know what I mean? Like, it looked real encouraging now. I would hold back as far as the extension right now and let him just play his contract and maybe sign him in the middle of the season. But right now, they need cornerback help. You got Okudah, and, did he get traded?
He did Okudah, yep.
Yeah, they traded him.
So they need another cornerback, and I agree with Tito. I go with Devin Witherspoon out of Illinois. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the Queen sweep. It's either him or Christian Gonzalez. Let's just go with him. Forget it. I'm gonna go with him. All right. So number 7 for me. I guess I'll go first since it's the best team in the NFL, the Las Vegas Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to be the Raiders, and they're going to take Anthony Richardson. In my draft, he falls to us. We need to go cornerback because we are atrocious on defense, and I feel like, nah, that's not going to happen. They're not going to. They have the guy they want. I'm just lying for the show. This is where I think Witherspoon goes. He drops to the Raiders, and we're going to go cornerback. Hopefully, it's either him or Gonzalez. But I had him Gonzalez going. Yep. I got Witherspoon falling.
I flipped them. I think you do need cornerback help, big time. Not this Arnett draft pick that didn't, what we hope Raiders are not gonna Raider when it comes to this draft pick. But I think they make the right move here and take Gonzalez. If it's not Gonzalez, it's Witherspoon. But I have them flipped. I have Witherspoon going to Lions and Gonzalez going to you.
Kudo. Who's going to the Raiders? I mean, Guru.
The Raiders, I have them. I don't have them taking a cornerback. I possibly have them taking. I really feel Anthony Richardson is going to. Yeah, I just have a funny feeling. The things like work out funny. The culture snag him, but I'm going to go ahead and say Anthony Richardson at this pick. Like they're just not showing their hand.
If Raiders get Anthony Richardson, I mean that's a move, man. You don't have to play him. You don't have to play him right away. You got Garoppolo. You only play him, if Garoppolo or when Garoppolo. See,
Come on, that's my quarterback. That's my quarterback. Don't be talking about him like that.
You still have the best wide receiver in the league. Fight me.
We wasting his talents. We have the best running back, and we don't care about him. We're franchise tagging him. We're shopping him around. The Raiders are such a dumb organization. All right, I'm done picking. I think that's all the guys I know that's in the draft. So number 8 is the Falcons. Guru. Go ahead, Tito.
Yeah, go ahead, Tito. You go first.
This one was a little tough, man, because I think the Falcons need of things for them. But I actually think they go a surprise pick for me here. They go running back, Texas.
Really?
John Robinson.
John Robinson? Oh, wow.
They have Kyle Pitts there. Just start working on that offensive side. I mean, I think they have an okay defense. They were in, they just need better decision makers. But yep, little bit of a surprise pick here for me.
I like the fact that they're going to Desmond Ridder. They're going to go with him this year as the quarterback. I think he has high upside. What he did at Cincinnati. I feel like with Kyle Pitts at the tight end position, needs time to get downfield. I'm going to go offensive tackle out of Northwestern, Peter Skoronsky. Very intelligent, really good feet off the snap, and that's what they need. They need a young, good offensive tackle.
Yeah.
I see it.
I see it. All right. So next pick. Speaking of offensive tackle, the Chicago Bears. Oh no! Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My computer's tweaking. It's showing that I dropped the call. That's why I cut my camera off.
Wait, Mir, did you make your pick for Atlanta?
Nah. I'm done. I'm done, Guru. I'm not too deep on this draft.
Okay.
Didn't do his homework.
I was.
Even though a lot of college football. Hey man, if you guys ain't watching college football, it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, it's back this year though. I feel like this year. Well, I guess last year it kind of started. I don't know. I guess it's been coming back the last couple of years, especially with the.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they pay him, so it makes me more comfortable with watching him. So. The good ones at least.
With the ninth pick, I think the Bears go offensive tackle. I think you have to, protect Fields. You have a stud receiver now. I think they go. I'm gonna throw out Johnson from Ohio State, offensive tackle.
Okay. Guru.
Philadelphia, Johnson.
No.
They need
Chicago Bears. 9.
Oh, the Bears. I got. I take Johnson, offensive tackle. I definitely would take him. They need to be able to protect Justin Fields. We know what he can do out of the pocket, but you got to remember, his senior year at Ohio State. He was like 42 touchdowns versus like 2 or 3 interceptions. So he can throw the ball if given time.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So number 10 on the NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Guru.
They need. I feel like they need an offensive tackle as well. You know, they need an offensive tackle. It just seems to me that that you know if you can get an offensive tackle in the first round, that's a gem because you know this guy is nasty and he's smart. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with Broderick Jones out of Georgia. You know, gets fast off the ball. You know, he can take on rushes really quick. I really like Broderick Jones for them at that pick for the Eagles.
Tito.
They took a big hit on the defensive line side. I think that was one of their strengths last year. So I actually think that they go after Nolan Smith, edge rusher from Georgia.
Nolan Smith. Cool.
That's
So
a good pick.
at 11, we have, I think, the rebuilding Titans who should fire their coach, but that's another conversation.
Yeah, I agree.
Tito, who you got at number 11?
This is, I think, on mine. I don't think I've called out Richardson, right?
Nah, you didn't.
No.
I don't know why, but I think I'm going to put Richardson here. I also think that they can shock everybody and take another receiver. I mean, I think Burks was pretty serviceable for them towards the end of the season last year. So they might target a receiver as well, like one of the top ones. But I'll throw Richardson here for the sake of my draft. I don't see Richardson dropping past the 13th pick or 15th pick or whatever.
Guru, Dennis Lindsey.
Yeah, I think they need a receiver. You know, I'm gonna go with Zay Flowers out of Boston College. Love his speed, his shiftiness. I know they drafted a receiver last year, but they need another one. You know, they need. You know, they have the quarterback. You know, so you have pair of two young receivers that you can grow with. You're good at tight end. Your line is pretty stable. You got to put up some points and take the pressure off of your running back and quarterback.
Cool. So number 12.
Yep, you got the Texans back
Texans
up.
back on there from Cleveland.
On this one, I think they go after a receiver as well. And I'm taking Smith Njigba from Ohio State.
Yep. I think that was working in NFL right now. College teammates coming in the NFL and excelling together. So I would keep it going. Guru, who you got?
The same pick. Like, you know, he's going to come off the board. You need points. He's perfect for that position of the draft. I'm going with him as well.
Yeah, for me, he'll be teamed up with C.J. Stroud because if Young goes first, Stroud has to go second, and it's good. I think that actually would save the Texas franchise if they did that. Actually, okay, number 13. I think this could be interesting because I don't know who the Green Bay Packers will go for. They just got this pick yesterday because they traded my newly acquired partner, who I'm okay with now, Aaron Rodgers. And
I think, I mean, part of me feels like they'll do what they never did for Rodgers, which is go for a offensive position player like a receiver in round one. Because Rodgers isn't there anymore, maybe out of spite, maybe out of that's just how it went. So I can see a Zay Flowers sitting here because the Ohio State kid is off my board, but I'm actually gonna go with them taking edge rusher as well, Miles Murphy out of Clemson.
Guru.
Okay. I have Bijan Robinson out of Texas.
Running back.
I think that, Running back, yes. You pair him with Jordan Love, young quarterback. You have young receivers. The running back they have, I forgot his
Aaron
name, number
Jones,
28. Not not Aaron Jones, but the
Dylan,
other one.
Dylan.
Dylan.
Dylan. I think like with both of them, they're pretty good backs. But again, youth always serves well in the NFL, and if you can get a running back who not only can run and is really shifty between the tackles, but also is a really good receiver, I think you trade either your Jones or the Dylan, and you get a young guy like Bjorn Robinson.
I think they had trade back. If I was, well, they'll pick somebody of a value, but I think personally, having a new quarterback, I wouldn't give him a running back. I would give him like a pass catching tight end or a wide receiver. So I don't have a pick,
Yeah.
of course, but I think that's
I mean,
yeah, that's like Tony Romo when he took over from quarterback of the Cowboys. He had what's that guy's name?
yeah, I can see a receiver. I can see a receiver, but I mean, it's the Packers though. I mean, they still have the same front office. How many times have we seen them not their offensive position player in this situation? So
Louis
that's the only
says,
reason why.
"Oh, go ahead, no bad."
Nah,
No,
I said that's the only reason that I went with it because every single time we've said that they've needed a receiver, they've needed a running back, they've never gone after those guys. And now that Rodgers is gone, they're automatically going to go after one. I don't see it happening.
yeah, Louis said 6 out of the top 10 will be defensive players unless picks are traded. Yep. Okay. Next up, we have
New England.
New England. I don't know what they're gonna do. They might go quarterback. They hate Mac Jones, but anyway, Guru, who you got? New England.
Hey, New England, they need a cornerback. I feel like they need a cornerback. They need to be able to stop people, particularly in their division with Miami and Buffalo. So I like Deontay Banks, cornerback, Maryland. He's young, got real good feet. He runs a 4.35 40, so he can keep up with them speedy receivers like Waddle and those guys in the AFC North.
Yep. I can see that happening. I have them taking a offensive tackle though, protect the quarterback. So I have them going Broderick Jones, Georgia.
Okay. All right. So next we got the New York Jets. Tito.
I have them going protect the quarterback as well. I have them going offensive tackle. I think they're solid on defense. They have a stud of Garrett Wilson receiver. Very very high on that guy. I love my receivers, you know that. But they're going tackle. I think they're taking the tackle out of Northwestern, Skoronski.
Guru. The Jets.
I have Anton Harrison, offensive tackle, Oklahoma. I think that he's someone that they can really use. Got the speed. You can move him to left or right tackle. Doesn't matter. He's very good at both. I think that's the pick that they take right there. Anton Harrison, Oklahoma.
Okay. Next is the Commanders. I think if this guy if he falls, if Richardson, excuse me, Richardson or Levis, I think whoever's left, they're gonna get a quarterback. But anyway, Tito, since this is your team, the dumbest organization in the league, and the coaching staff to follow too. Who do you
Right?
guys picking up?
Well, hopefully this goes through and we have a new owner that's just gonna want to make a splash and we trade everyone and everything for Lamar Jackson because he is that guy. Keep him in the DMV. Um, right, Guru. But
Yeah.
I can see them going offensive tackle. That's where they struggled last year. I do think that they think very, very highly of Sam Howell, and believe me, Sam Howell has an arm. That guy can throw. So, and they already have Scary Terry, who is a phenomenal receiver with the deep threat as a deep threat. But I think they actually go cornerback here. Rivera loves his defense. And they go Joey Porter Jr. here, Penn State, cornerback.
Oh, Joey Porter, Bakersfield, Guru.
I like
Who you
Michael
got?
Mayer out of Notre Dame. I know they have a tight end, but they're inconsistent at that position. Like, you need a tight end that's going to be able to take chunks out of the field, 10, 12 yards. Very smart, Notre Dame product, big body, a great safety net, and someone that the defense is going to have to account for with the young talent like Scary Terry and them around him. I like Sam Howell. Like what I see. Not, he beat us, but, I don't know how much stock I want to put in that game. But I always thought he was a really good quarterback with a strong arm. And with Eric Bieniemy entering the picture as the offensive coordinator, I think he's going to be able to do a lot of good things with him. Make it very easy, get the ball out of his hand. Tight end.
Tight end.
I can see it, but I mean, they still have Logan Thomas.
Yeah, Logan is
who, if
not
he can stay healthy,
he's not healthy enough for me.
If he can stay healthy, he's there. But I mean, they're set at running back. They have a pass catching dual like running back, and then they have the bruiser of I don't know how he made it out of the shooting with no ligament damage, no anything in Robinson, who's just a feed me type running back. Like I lost stock in Rivera last year when you can easily see you just got to give that kid the ball and he's going to do good things with it. But and then the receiving core I think is great. I mean, it's my team, but I think they're on the up and up, man. We just need a quarterback that's really where it comes through. And I think Sam Howell is there. If not, I mean, even if they falter, I mean, the big quarterback prize is next year's draft. But, I can see it. Next pick is we have Steelers, Pittsburgh at 17. I have them going offensive tackle, Darnell Wright out of Tennessee.
Guru.
Okay. I have Kalijah Cansey out of defensive tackle, Pittsburgh. Like, what's his name? The defensive tackle they have now has been a long, like, very durable.
Cam Hayward.
Cam Hayward, yeah. The Steelers really build on defense. Like, they're all about defense. And I think that he's a defensive tackle who'll come in, learn from him, play on the opposite side, and he'll be the next generation of a good defensive tackle for Pittsburgh. So that's my pick, Kalijah Cansey, defensive tackle.
Okay. Next, Detroit Lions.
Yep. Here I actually went defensive tackle, and I went with Guru's guy who he just picked, Cansey from Pittsburgh. I think you pair him up with Hutchinson. I'm telling you, man. I guess the San Francisco D-liners, it's a copycat league, man. Everybody, you just stack your box, you're good, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna go outside linebacker because their linebacker play was okay, but it could be better. Especially when you got the defensive end that they got last year, number 2 up there. So I think Nolan Smith is going to be a plug-in day one outside linebacker. Cover those edges real good, fast. Just what the doctor ordered for that type of defense that they run.
Okay.
All righty, 19. The Tom Brady-less Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. I mean, don't they wish a quarterback can fall to them? But I have them going offensive tackle as well. Just continue to build that line. You already have a young line mate Worth. I have them taking Anton Harrison from Oklahoma.
That's a good pick. I'm gonna go ahead and jump out there. I just think that Malik Hooker is gonna be here at this pick. I think he'll be a steal. Looking at his tape, looking at the type of arm that Bruce Arians wants, because he's still upstairs. He was a lot more impressive than Will Levis. I think Will Levis he'll be good, but I don't have him in my first round. Second round, Malik Hooker, they're going to say, well, he's 26 years old. That's still young for a quarterback. Most quarterbacks don't develop to that age. He looked like he's pro ready. He's got the arm. He's got the smarts to do it. I like him at this pick, because they like to throw the ball. I'm going to take Malik Hooker here at 19.
Yeah, he be old school. What was that guy's name? Remember Brandon Whedon out of Oregon State? No, Oklahoma State. Brandon, where was he, like 29, 28? All right.
Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks.
Here, I'm going
to
to go edge rusher out of Iowa, Lucas Van Ness. That defensive side for the Seahawks, man.
Yeah, I think they need a cornerback. So I'm going to go Emmanuel Forbes, Mississippi State, really good player. He's a plug-in guy playing in the SEC. I like him. He was a bright spot on that team.
Okay. One of the most overrated teams in the NFL today, the Los Angeles Chargers.
I have them going receiver here. Their receivers can't seem to stay healthy, but I was a little torn, but I would like for them to take the kid out of USC, but I think this is where Zay Flowers goes as one of the top receivers in the draft.
Yeah, I think receivers where they go to, but I got Jordan Addison. I would take him at this pick out of USC. Can't go wrong either one, but I feel like, yeah, his upside is pretty good. He looked good at USC, certainly at Pitt. So I'll say, Jordan Addison.
Yep. It's a good pick right there, man.
Okay.
I still have Flowers on my board. I think he goes there, but I can see Addison sit. I mean, he's USC backyard, right? Like, they probably saw a lot of that kid for sure. You have the Ravens at 22. I have them taking cornerback here with Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah, I have the same pick. Like, they need a cornerback. They're getting kind of long in the tooth there. Cornerbacks, you want them young. Cornerbacks are really elite between the ages of 21 and 28. Those are their best years right there. Anything after 28, you just like, it's just luck. And that's just been the history of cornerback in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next up, Minnesota Vikings.
Vikings, I have them going cornerback with Deontay Banks out of Maryland.
I take Luke Van Ness, Iowa. I think they need a defensive end. I think that'll help them. I know they need defense, and why not him? He's a good pick for
them. Okay. All right, the Jacksonville surprise Jaguars. Man, it's so good they got
Trevor
rid of
Lawrence
coach.
looked decent.
Guru still hates Trevor
He got
Lawrence.
rid of himself. Hey, man.
Yeah.
He was looking like a quarterback in the season, He was putting together some nice numbers.
I don't know, Guru.
Yeah,
How do you
Jacksonville
feel?
needs
Wait,
defense.
Guru, how do you feel about Trevor Lawrence, real quick? You still hate him?
Well, I didn't want to be too hard on him because he did have a good college career. I did see some upside based on his size and what he could become. Wasn't really crazy about his arm strength, but man, those last 9 games of the season, he made a believer out of me. I hope I'm not wrong, but he looks like he's kind of figured it out, especially the number he did on us when he had to come. He came back against us. Lets me know he's figuring it out. He's got belief in himself, and he's got a good coach behind him. So yeah, I think he's the real deal. I do so now more so than I did before.
Okay. All right. So who y'all got them picking? The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yep. I have them going on the defensive side, as Guru said, that they need a little bit work on defense. I have them going safety, Brian Branch out of Alabama.
Yeah, that's me too. Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right.
Because if they can stop people with that, they'll be good.
All right. Next up, the Danny Dimes. The new. You hear that?
Yeah.
That's not me. All right. Next up, the Danny Dimes, the New York
What? The
Giants.
Danny Dimes?
Yep. I have them.
Oh,
Man, I'm just gonna throw out a name here, man. Where I think they go receiver Addison here on my board.
not a bad pick. They definitely need a receiver. They definitely need receiver help. They need a tall receiver. You know, Quentin Johnston out of TCU, like people are saying, well, he's not going to be fast enough to get in and out of his breaks. I beg to differ. NFL training is a lot different. The diet is a lot different. They need height at that position. You know, Danny Dimes has a big target. I'm going to go Quentin Johnston, wide receiver, TCU, Texas Christian University.
Okay. 26. Guru, go. Dallas Cowboys. Who y'all getting?
Well, we need help at defense. We need defensive tackle. I'm going Brian Reese. You know, Clemson. I like it. Like we need to push. We need someone who can like clog the middle, so our number 11 can like wreak havoc. I like Brian Reese. I like what he did at Clemson. You know, one thing we know, he's going to be a hard worker. Getting a little long in the tooth there in certain parts of our front line, and he's definitely someone that could help us get to the quarterback, which we need more sacks. We just don't have enough pressure.
All right, Tito.
It's a good pick. For whatever reason, I see this name a lot in mock drafts. I think this is where the tight end from Notre Dame goes. Mayer goes to the Cowboys.
Oh, I can see that happening. All right, next up is one of the most overrated teams in the NFL, the Buffalo Bills.
For sure.
For sure, Josh.
Well, Buffalo, they need.
Go ahead.
Everybody's saying they're gonna go after receiver here, so I can see Quentin Johnston from TCU, big body, as Guru said, falling here. But I actually think they go defense. They still got to stop teams. And this is where Guru's last pick, I think, falls with Breesy being the edge rusher there.
Yeah.
Guru, who you have?
Oh, for them, defense for sure. You know, Luke Van Ness, defensive end Iowa.
Okay, 28.
Did I pick him already?
I think you did. I think you did.
Okay. Let's go, Miles Murphy, Clemson.
Okay.
Defensive end.
The Cincinnati Bengals. So these are the good teams now.
I mean, there's not much that they need other than to get over the hump, right? But I think they take the second best tight end in the draft because the first one just went off of my board, and they take Kincaid from Utah.
Yeah, fair.
Not a bad pick at all. I like Adetokunbo. Adamore out of Northwestern. Defensive end, defensive tackle. You know, you got like players like, you know, Fletcher Cox, you know, he's long, 32 years old. You know, he's still serviceable, but you need some young blood in there. And I think he's the perfect fit for them because they need help on defense. They don't need any on offense.
Okay, and next up is the New Orleans Saints from San Francisco through Miami and Denver, whatever that means.
Have I said Miles Murphy?
No,
No.
no.
Okay, I'll take him here as an edge rusher. I think they need help there.
Okay. Guru.
Is this the Saints?
No, this is the. Oh yeah, this is
Yep.
Saints. Yeah, Saints.
Yeah, it's the Saints.
The Saints?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I like Will. I like Will Levis with this pick.
Bro, they already have a winning
You know
quarterback in their team.
who?
Derek
And they cut
Carr.
him.
Well,
Let me try to
yeah,
let me cut off
that's
my
true.
internet on my phone because I need to get my camera back on so people can see me. Say as much as it pains me to say, he plays in a whack division to where he can go and place high and get a easy team in the first round of playoffs and make it.
I think he's going to fall at this pick. You know, I think Derek Carr. You know, I mean, you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig, right? And he had talent last year and with the Raiders, and he didn't seize it. And I'm just tired of people making excuses for him and thinking that this guy is the guy. Lord knows he's made enough money, and Lord knows he is a great person. But I
And
just
Lord
don't. This
knows
contract,
Derek Carr. I
yeah,
don't know.
Lord knows Derek Carr.
Man, I don't know. I think I at the end of the day, man, the Raiders suck sometimes, and he just played for a sucky team. All right, so now I don't like Dennis Allen at all, but we'll see what they do. I think that.
I
Anyway,
don't
my
either.
bad. Did you say your pick yet? I'm over here talking about the
Yeah,
Hey,
I have Will
Oh,
Levis.
that's
The
right.
reason
Yeah,
being,
yeah,
like
yeah.
I
Oh,
said.
that's right.
Oh, I'm sorry,
I'm
Tito.
talking about Tito though.
No, I said they're going edge rusher with Murphy.
Oh, okay. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
All right, now the last two teams because Miami obviously was doing some cricket, and so they have no first round pick. So we got the Super Bowl teams, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Chiefs. So
Eagles, I have them going. I have them going another edge rusher as well, and I'm going to see Keon White, edge rusher from Georgia Tech here.
I like that pick. I
mm-hmm.
got that one too. I like that pick.
All right, to end the first
Keon White.
round. Cool. Keon, K-E-I-O-N. Yeah, that's how you spell it. All right, cool.
For the champions, Kansas City Chiefs. I see.
Boo! It wasn't a hold.
Although,
How do you call
right,
that play?
right. I'm actually going to take Quentin Johnson here, receiver from TCU.
Go
Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. I think it's the offensive tackle for me. It's Darnell Wright. You know, I just think that you can put him at left or right. And Patrick Mahomes, all you got to do is really protect his blind side. He can scoot up the middle or throw it or whatever. But I think you solidify the offensive tackles on both sides. On both sides of the line, they're even going to be more dangerous than they are. He can do everything else. He can work with anybody.
All right, we got a hot comment in the comments. And this is talking about Derek Carr for sure. And this is directed at Guru. And it says, oh my God, making excuses. This coming from the guy who still believes in Prescott.
Well, you know what? That's funny you say that. Like I'm on the fence with Prescott. Like this has to be his year. Like so, I get it. I have to. I have
What?
no
You're still
choice
on the
but to stick
fence?
with it this year.
What did we needed to go on break this long for Guru to get some sense?
No, he's not fully there. He said he's giving them one more season. He's done.
Yeah, I have to.
He single handedly lost it.
We're
You guys suck. Zeke is gone, and he went out his last play at being under center in a stupid spread formation.
yeah.
That
I can't deny it.
we can come back.
Where's Zeke going? Is Zeke out of a job? Is Zeke at like a buffet line somewhere?
Nah,
Like
Well, we
where's
can
he?
sign him for the minimum.
Yeah, I think Zeke is. I think
You want?
he got a slice of that humble pie that he'll be back next year. And plus, he's a running back. You know, they fall off. I think they actually need to make another NFL like contract
He's only
based off of running
27
backs.
though.
Yeah, he
Who
got
gets
God.
him? Who gets him? You think the Eagles go after him?
that'd be smart.
I mean, I think so. I think that's a good fit for him. I think two teams fit him really, really well. I mean, I'm not a believer in Zeke, but I think the Eagles can definitely use him because they lost. Didn't they lose Sanders? Or they lost one
Yeah.
of their. And then but I think the Chiefs might go after him too.
On
Yeah, I
that
mean, he might
note,
still have a little trade left on there.
somebody Louis says on the fence. Cowboy fans are so delusional. Yeah, you should be
At
off
least
the
I can
fence.
be real about mine. At least I can be like, I'm not delusional. Like, okay, I had to see this past season that went by, and he played terrible, absolutely terrible. I'm not defending anything he did. And look, I need to know if he's going to need to be my quarterback after this year. I don't want him to sign no extension. You know, I want to see him like proved out as wrong, or that's
Yeah,
Go
it.
get Lamar.
so it's a make or break year for Dak Prescott for you right now.
For sure. Like I'm not going to give him the rope that you gave Derek Carr with the Raiders, but my leash is short.
That's
Like I'm not going to
different.
put up with
See,
that.
that's different. You got the Cowboys got all the weapons. What are you talking about? To y'all
You
credit,
had the best. You had the
to
best
to
receiver and best
to
running
y'all
back in the
credit.
league last year.
All right, and we were winning the games every single half, but the coaches just thought it was
Every
still
single
smart to to throw the ball. Just run the ball. We already started off our season in Looneyville. We had Josh Jacobs playing in the preseason game, all preseason game, the first
And
half
I'll
in a
I'll
Hall of
give
Fame
Raymir
game.
credit. I'll give Raymir credit. He did sit in this show numerous times and said Carr was garbage. So
Yeah, and he
Yeah,
actually
yeah, I
played.
get that.
Devontae Adams is the number one receiver this past season. Who was his quarterback for 14 of those games? So, you know, I just come to the conclusion that the Raiders organization is not meant for him to win. When Mark Davis had to sit there and apologize to Derek Carr because he felt like he didn't give him the best opportunity to win because of his mistakes, he was right. He was right.
He didn't mean that. He didn't mean that.
Yeah, he did. He had to. He had to. Derek Carr ain't got that dog in him, and I don't think he does. So that's why I always said that. The last play at Oakland, and I was at the game, you there with your friends and family wishing the team to get a win, and Derek Carr just throws it away on fourth and whatever, fourth and goal on a two.
Well,
It's like, bro, you got to try to make a play. This is the last game we're ever gonna see in the Coliseum, and this is the replay. So I know he ain't get that dog with him, but I just know that the team ain't the best around him either. Like look what we're doing this off season or the past season, and just look, it just. The Raiders be so close. Darren Waller's gone. Like Josh Jacobs was about to get traded. Like what are we doing as an organization? But I can admit that because I'm a Raiders fan and I'm not a Cowboys fan where I'm gonna um, pacify it for like years and years. But that is our show for tonight. It's kind of late. Thanks for being back. And I guess we should be back. I think personally what we should do with the show, we should drop the streaming calls and we should get somewhere with real cameras and and get and talk somewhere. We just got to find a location. That's probably like the number
let's
one
do it,
hurdle
man.
we have. But
fine with
other than
me.
that, we'll see you guys. It's always a pleasure, Tito Guru. Say peace out to everybody.
Appreciate
Thank
y'all.
you guys. All right.
All right, y'all have a good night. I forgot how to stop this stream.